A very good morning to one and all present here. On behalf of the entire Lotus Discourse team, I, Mihika Bhasin, the cultural head for the event, wish you all a very happy Constitution Day. We, the people of India, having solemnly resolved to constitute India into a sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic and to secure to all its citizens justice, social, economic, and political, liberty of thought, expression, belief, faith, and worship, equality of status and of opportunity, and to promote among them all fraternity, assuring the dignity of the individual and the unity and integrity of the nation. In our Constituent Assembly, this 26th day of November, 1949, do hereby adopt, enact, and give to ourselves this Constitution.
As rightly stated by Albert Einstein, the strength of the Constitution lies entirely in the determination of each citizen to defend it. Only if every single citizen feels duty bound to do his share in this defense are the constitutional rights secure. A very good morning to one and all present here. It's a pleasure to welcome you all to the opening ceremony of the very first edition of Lotus Discourse 2021. We, the people of India. I, Vedant Agarwal.
And I, Rishita Singh, will be your host for this morning.
To grace the event, we have with us our dazzling luminaries. We are truly humbled to have our special guest of the day, Mr. Kishore Asthana sir, who effortlessly wears several feathers in his luminous cap. We are blessed to have our most honorable school patron and the recipient of Padma Shri and Padma Bhushan, Dr. Shama Chunama, under whose ages we have blossomed magnificently. We most heartily welcome our ever-smiling and inspiring school chairperson, Jaspreet Kaur, and the most vivacious member of our school management committee, Ms. Surina Uppalma. They are the torch bearers of the Lotus family who guide us and lead us with providence. Lotus Valley Gurugram is synonymous with Anita Malhotra, our dynamic, progressive, and most revered director principal, the recipient of Delhi State and CBSE National Award, and our dear and exuberant headmistresses, Harvinder Kaur ma'am and Ritu Java ma'am. We welcome you all with utmost humility.
With ecstasy, we express our immense gratitude and appreciation to all the participating schools of Delhi NCR for their heartfelt response. We are indeed indebted to you all for helping us create a milepost in our efforts to spread constitutional literacy amongst the youth of this country. Today marks the red letter day for each one of us as we stand tall on one podium to celebrate and commemorate our Constitution Day. Constitution Day helps to ignite the lamp of knowledge in the minds of the new generation, which includes students like us who can understand the importance of the Indian Constitution, respect it, and follow it religiously. In the current era, it makes us stay connected when people are becoming unmindful of the importance of democracy. Celebrating Constitution Day is a way by which we all can pay tribute to the makers of the Indian Constitution and spread their philosophies and thoughts.
The challenges posed by the spread of COVID-19 pandemic and the fight for justice require collective action, and meeting this call for collective work requires a citizenry that is empathetic, empowered, and motivated. But building an informed youth is no easy feat, and you may be asking yourself big questions like, how can we teach tenets of citizenship to the next generation so they understand national issues and are motivated to find solutions?
We are not born knowing how to be great citizens, how democracy works, or what is required to ensure it serves everyone. We have to be taught how to be an effective member of a democratic society, the same way we are taught math formulae and how to write an argument. Lotus Valley International School, Gurugram, plays a critical role in imparting citizenship education to the youth of the country by introducing a one-of-a-kind event, Lotus Discourse 2021, with exhilarating competitions such as Tryst with a Twist, a comic monologue, Every Issue Counts, creation of a flip digital magazine, Colloquium, Diverse India, panel discussion, Wings of Change, live team PowerPoint presentation, We the Youth, arguably the best, live debate. Lotus Discourse is the forum that capitalizes on the strengths of the youth and is built on the commitment to promote effective use of technology during the pandemic so that nothing can stop us from connecting with each other to promote constitutional values.
Constitution Day, also known as Samvidhan Divas, is celebrated in our country on 26 November every year to commemorate the adoption of the Constitution of India. On 26 November 1949, the Constituent Assembly of India adopted the Constitution of India, which came into effect from 26 January 1950. We celebrate the 26th day of November every year as Constitution Day to promote constitutional literacy among citizens.
After countless sacrifices of our freedom fighters, we got independence on 15th August 1947. We have heroes who wrote our constitution, one of the biggest constitutions in the world. On behalf of the entire Lotus Valley fraternity, I salute all the freedom fighters and the heroes who framed our constitution.
The best way to pay tribute to our freedom fighters and our constitution makers is by pledging our allegiance to the Constitution of India. Now, I would like to call the Deputy Head Boy, Ekas Singh Khosla, to deliver the Pledge of Allegiance.
Warm greetings to the regal gathering. I, Ekas Singh Khosla, the Deputy Head Boy, consider it my absolute honor and privilege to welcome you all to the very first edition of Lotus Discourse. We, the people of India. I now request each one of you to kindly raise your hand and repeat along with me. I, Ekas Singh Khosla, do swear in the name of God, solemnly affirm that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the Constitution of India as by law established, and that I will, as in duty bound, honestly and faithfully serve the nation and its people to the best of my ability as a pupil. To my country and my people, I pledge my devotion. In their well-being and prosperity alone lies my happiness. Jai Hind.
India is the largest democracy in the world. In the truest meaning of the word democracy, India is secular. Amidst various languages spoken, castes and customs, the country remains united. We can travel from the Himalayas to the Kanyakumari as an Indian and can witness diverse cultures. India is a culturally rich country where almost every state has its own language, cuisine, and dance forms. When it comes to dance, India has traditional, folk, tribal, and classical dance styles, which are all simply mesmerizing.
Dance is an expression of our innermost thoughts. We present our thoughts in the most graceful manner through a series of synchronized steps and movements. We now present an incredible piece by the dance exponents of our school. Nation first, always first.
उत्तर में हिमालय शोभित जो है इसकी उत्तम शान, दक्षिण में सागर की लहरें करती है इसका गुणगान। भाषा बोली सब अलग अलग है, फिर भी सबका है सम्मान। पूरब से लेकर पश्चिम तक सारा एक है हिंदुस्तान, सारा एक है हिंदुस्तान।
आज से प्रोग्राम में आ रहा
मुश्किल वक्त में भी हम न खोए हौसला, खुश है जीत का जश्न हम मनाएंगे आसमां तिरंगा सजाना आज है शान से सभी को बताएंगे जीत लेंगे ये सारा जहां
That was a spellbinding performance. Thank you all. The pervasive COVID-19 pandemic has caused many challenges, but the zeal and passion is still high. Lotus Valley International School, Gurugram, which has been watchfully nurtured, has established a premier status for itself as an outstanding institution under the able guidance of our Director Principal, Ms. Anita Malhotra. Ma'am has always made sincere efforts to make the institution she is associated with a place where children significantly shape their life. Starting from pre-primary level to senior secondary level and devising methods of successful transformation from one level to another, keeping in mind the demand of the changing and dynamic industry. She is indeed a true personification of leadership, as she believes in assimilating a powerful value system in the students, along with focusing on their academic and co-curricular excellence. For the overall development of students, she has worked hard to open varied promenades for trailing perfection in talent areas like visual and performing arts, sports and games, and life skills. We thank you, ma'am, for giving us this great opportunity whereby we learn and gain awareness about our Constitution. I sincerely request ma'am to address the gathering and enlighten us with her words of wisdom.
Thank you, sweetheart. Good morning, honored guests, our school management, judges of the events, teachers, alumni of Lotus Valley, and the young minds and young hearts. Heartiest congratulations on the Constitution Day of India. 72 years ago, 248 delegates, the national heroes of the Constituent Assembly of India, signed the Constitution. The Constitution declares India a sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic. It guarantees the Indian citizens justice, equality, and liberty, and endeavors to promote fraternity. This is the moral compass of our journey together to a glorious future. Dr. Ambedkar, as chairman of the drafting committee, spoke eloquently about their significance in his concluding speech. What does democracy mean? It means a way of life which recognizes liberty, equality, and fraternity as the principles of life. These principles of liberty, equality, and fraternity are not to be treated as separate items in a trinity. They form a union of trinity in the sense that to divorce one from the other is to defeat the very purpose of democracy. To celebrate this sacred day, we have with us our special guest of this morning, Mr. Kishore Asthana, chairman of the Dhruv Foundation and president of Mensa Project for the identification and nurturing of underprivileged, gifted children. Mr. Asthana is also an author and a columnist in the Speaking Tree column of Times of India. What a pleasure it is to have you amidst us, Mr. Asthana. On behalf of the Lotus Valley management and the whole fraternity, I welcome you most heartily.
Thank
I
you.
take this opportunity to welcome the head of our Lotus Valley family, our whole fraternity, our mentor, our guiding lights, our school patron, Dr. Shyama Chona. Dr. Chona is the proud recipient of the highest civilian awards, Padma Shri and Padma Bhushan, along with 2 national awards and close to around 90 prestigious awards. Dr. Chona is the most respected and a world-renowned educationist who has inspired millions and millions. I feel Dr. Chona is the mitochondria of creativity and innovation. I find her to be a great mentor, a greater mom, and the greatest grandmom. Her inspiring principles echo through Tamanna Special Schools. Thank you, Dr. Chona, for your inspiring presence always. It's my proud privilege to welcome our school management, a management which is so articulate, a management with the heart of gold, always looking for doing the best for the young minds. A warm welcome to our ever smiling chairperson, Mrs. Jaspreet Kaur, and ever laughing and cheerful, Mrs. Surina Uppal, the member managing committee. I call them the 2 magnetic personalities of this citadel of excellence. Thank you for making it for today's event. With pride, I welcome my headmistresses, Ms. Ritu and Ms. Arvinder, my teachers, the Lotus Valley alumni, the judges of the event, the participants of the renowned schools of Delhi NCR to this first edition of Lotus Discourse 21, we the people, to commemorate and celebrate the Constitution Day. This day is not only important, but it's sacred for the Indian democracy. If there is anything called the spirit of our democratic institutions, it is Constitution. Today is a day to be thankful. Today is a day to be inspired. I would like to express my heartfelt gratitude to all the dignitaries who joined us on this platform, Lotus Discourse, to celebrate the Indian Constitution Day, which is considered to be the landmark in our country's journey of being independent, sovereign, and republic. The Constituent Assembly, with members from across communities, reflects the diversity of our country. The Indian Constitution stood the test of time, as India has been a successful democracy, unlike many other countries that became independent at the same time, but are still struggling for a democratic setup. Today, Constitution Day has posed an important question to us as the members of a family. Have we been following those values which have been expected of us by our guardian, by our Constitution? Have we been working to cooperate with each other to strengthen one another like members of a family? Every step, every decision of these institutions impact the lives of people. The question is that whether we have been cooperating, supporting, and strengthening each other while understanding the requirements of the country for development, while understanding the aspirations of people. This time is the golden period for our country, and we have to move forward to realize the dream of a new India on the basis of this positive atmosphere. There's no dearth of capabilities, there's no dearth of resources, but we must keep the most valuable resource, that is time, in our minds. Whatever we are required to do, we have to do it now and do it in this period only. To conclude, I would like to quote Swami Vivekananda. We are responsible for what we are and whatever we wish ourselves to be. We have the power to make ourselves. If what we are now has been the result of our own past actions, it certainly follows that whatever we wish to be in future can be produced by our present actions. So we have to know how to act. Often we look outside for heroes, but I see them right here among us. I've seen in many years that we don't have to look far for inspiration, and that for each one of us has the potential, the ability to make an inspiring contribution to others by being true to our values and committing ourselves to our goals. When you leave today, dear children, celebrate what you have accomplished, but look forward with an eye towards how you too can be an inspiration for others. Once again, I convey all my dear children and my fellow countrymen the best wishes on this Constitution Day, and wish that we move ahead with newer enthusiasm, a newer pledge, and a newer vision to make a new and a dynamic India. No one else can do, but the youth of today can definitely do. Thank you, and Jai Hind.
Thank you, ma'am, for your ever-inspiring words. I never teach my pupils. I only attempt to provide the conditions in which they can learn. These lines quoted by Albert Einstein must have been quoted for someone as visionary as Dr. Shyama Chona ma'am, our most revered and adored school patron. Ma'am's journey remains full of glory and inspiration. Dr. Chona ma'am has emphatically ingrained in us that giving up should never be an option, no matter what the challenges are. Persistence, resilience, and our core values should always be our guiding light. Ma'am firmly believes and lives by the principle that we also live in a wider world, a world in which we bear enormous responsibilities. Name and fame is not important. What is important is one's commitment to humanity. With our priceless interactions with Chona ma'am, we certainly strive to imbibe her values, her vigor, and her vision towards life. Ma'am, we would request you to kindly enlighten and enthuse the young minds with your pearls of wisdom.
Good morning, dear friends. The most loving and affectionate new generation. When I think of myself, all that has been said seems so unreal, for I consider myself a zero. When Anita, the principal of this school, stands at the podium, one understands that she represents India, Indian values, and what she is transmitting to her students in the school will actually take form of ideas and actions when they grow up, making India still a better and a proud country. Anita, thank you very much for inviting me. Actually, what you can do, no one else can. We're also with us, the members of our managing committee, the chairpersons, Surina ji and Jaspreet ji, who also stand for the values of the democracy that we are going to talk about today, because opening schools is the greatest thing you can do for this country, which needs education, which needs students to understand that there is no difference between those and us. There is this great celebration to take place today, and it's a good way to begin at Lotus Valley, where we understand there is no such thing as untouchability. Today is the day to celebrate the lives of B.R. Ambedkar, Mahatma Gandhi, the first president of India, and all those who contributed to the freedom struggle. We are fortunate that we're enjoying the after effects of that struggle in a freedom which is actually to be maintained in the most dignified manner. We have to respect each other. There cannot be any differences between people and people of the same nation. India comes first. We have at this moment the PM, Mr. Narendra Modi, at Vigyan Bhavan inaugurating the celebrations with all the chief justices and the other judges and lawyers, while we celebrate with the students and our special guests this morning. We know that our longest written constitution is the one which consists of approximately 1,45,000 words. In 2015, on the 125th birth anniversary of Mr. Ambedkar, our present Prime Minister announced that this would be celebrated the 26th of November as our Constitution Day. It is also called the Samvidhan Day, Divas, where all the legal bodies come together, bringing the people along to understand what equality and fraternity is all about. When the PM spoke in 2015, he referred to the requirement of awareness and tolerance and our fundamental duties. And I think it's so important to respect the Equality Memorial that has been set up in Bombay. Starting from the historical 1947 to 49 to 1950, we have all understood that we need to be proud of this nation, where 17 elections have taken place and many more of the states peacefully, and we have been able to stand in the eyes of the world that we are a nation to reckon with. There were 5 major things, principles, which were advocated by Mr. Ambedkar, which I'd like to share with you, because so much has already been said by everyone else, and I'm sure it's buzzing into the ears of the young students. The first thing that he said was that life should be greater than long. It's no point living long if there's no greatness there. Cultivation of the mind should be the ultimate aim of human existence. Cultivation of the mind, which is happening in Lotus Valley and other schools represented here. The third one, a great man is different from an eminent one. That is, he is really a servant of the society. If you can serve and not boss, I think you are greater than all eminence. He also said and advocated that I measure the progress of a community by the degree of progress which women have achieved. From times immemorial, women have played a great role in the lives of this nation. And I do hope as time goes on, they will be occupying positions which are actually unknown so far, whether it's the armed forces or in the engineering colleges or wherever. Their capability, I hope, will be respected and taken forward. So finally, dear children, dear friends, let us together respect the national flag, the national anthem, and Vande Mataram. Ma tujhe salam, ma tujhe salam, ma tujhe salam.
Thank you, ma'am, for your encouraging words, which will surely add value to each one of us present here.
Amongst us, we have the very honorable and distinguished Mr. Kishore Asthana sir, our special guest for the morning. Mr. Kishore Asthana sir is the chairman of Dhruv Foundation and president of Mensa Project Dhruv. Mensa is India's project for the identification and nurturing of underprivileged gifted children. Sir is an accomplished author of books of fiction, non-fiction, and poetry. as well as articles on diverse topics that have been published in various newspapers and magazines, including the Speaking Tree column of Times of India, Mint, Sunday Guardian, etc. Sir has a bachelor's degree in mechanical engineering from the National Institute of Technology in Durgapur, where he won the University Gold Medal, as well as a postgraduate degree in management from the Indian Institute of Management in Ahmedabad, from which he won the Air India Merit Scholarship. He is a founding member of the Joint Action Forum of Residents' Welfare Associations in his home city of Gurgaon, as well as a part of the Key Influencers Group for Gurgaon. He has 35 years of management experience, mostly at senior levels, including with the Tata Administrative Service and as the Vice Chairman and Business Advisor for one of the senior most members of the Omani royal family. So we would request you to kindly speak a few words.
Thank you very much. Good morning, Jai Hind. You know, today I'm very honored to be asked to speak to all of you. And I cherish this opportunity not because there's something special about me, but there is something special about you. I am the past of India. You are the future. India of tomorrow will be as you make it. And in that spirit, just give me 1 second, please. Yeah. I will not repeat here what our Constitution says. All of you here well know what it says, and your presence here itself is evidence of that. I would like to mention, however, that our Constitution specifies 11 fundamental responsibilities of every citizen like you. Please look them up. And if you want to be a good citizen of India, merely knowing them is not enough. Let me tell you why. You know, there are two kinds of knowledge. One kind of knowledge is known as declarative, in which you can repeat what you have learned. The other is procedural, in which you implement what you have learned in your own life. Let me give you a small example from a time much before our Constitution. When Yudhishthir and his brothers and cousins were studying, they were told by their teacher, please remember this sentence: I will not tell a lie. Everybody came the next day and said, we have learned this sentence by heart. Yudhishthir said, sorry, sir, I have not been able to learn it. And everybody laughed at him, and it went on for about 15 days. And then one day he came and said that I have now learned this sentence. And the teacher asked, why did you take so much time? He said, no, I knew it by heart the first day, but I still could not always tell the truth. Yudhishthir was known for never telling a lie in his life. That is the difference between procedural knowledge and declarative knowledge. And your knowledge of these 11 fundamental principles should be procedural rather than merely declarative. Just go through them carefully one by one and see. And this is the best tribute you can pay to those who gave us our Constitution. One of the ways to do it is by being the best version of yourself. Today, I would like to talk about some of the things that will help you become the best version of yourself. Now, I was born in British India, and I'm today speaking to you as one citizen of the Republic of India who's lived and learned through many decades, to another citizen of India who is just stepping out into life's journey. What I say may help change your mindset somewhat. You know, when you go on a commercial flight, the air hostess tells you that in an emergency, please take care of yourself first before trying to help anybody else. This life journey of yours is also very similar. Unless you improve yourself, unless you take care of yourself, your health, your mental health, physical health, everything, you cannot help anybody else. So please let us focus on you today. You may think I'm just one person. What can I do? But history is full of single people who have changed the world. I will not go through that whole list of people, but you know them, and all of them were single people who have done it. You can do it also. You can find inspiration closer home from some of the Padma awardees this year. Look at the fruit seller who set up schools. Look at so many others, old ladies who planted trees, so many things. They did it all on their own without any resources. What excuse do you have? I would like to emphasize this point a bit further. Many of you are fans of sports people, film celebrities. You list their films they have made, who they married, how many runs they made, how many goals they made, what are their statistics, etc. Raman Maharshi has said that these film celebrities, these sports stars, these other people, what they have achieved is their own treasure. When you spend your time recounting their feats, you are in effect counting their treasure. You can use that time to make your own treasure. Please do not waste your time on others. If you have to find inspiration, you will not find it there. You will find it in the kind of people we mentioned about who got the Padma Awards. Try to make your own treasure. In making your own treasure, intelligence is very important. You do not have to be a super genius. Many of you must have heard of Dr. Richard Feynman. You know, he said that in the only IQ test he took, his IQ was 124, which by no means is a super genius's IQ, but he was an amazing man, one of the most respected scientists of his generation. All of you have an IQ, I'm sure, of 124 or more. Again, there is no excuse for you. You know, you all are privileged children. I deal with 208 children who live in single rooms with their entire families, who queue up at 4 o'clock in the morning to share a tap with 30 other people. And they are doing, some of them are doing amazingly well. One is going on to do her PhD in maths. 2 are preparing for the IAS exams after passing out of Lady Shri Ram College. These are children who have nothing and they have done it. This is the third point I would say. You have no excuse not to do your best. But intelligence itself is not enough. It has to have many other qualities. I have realized this after I was president of Mensa India, and I know hundreds of very high IQ people all over the world. And I have realized that intelligence by itself is not sufficient. It is necessary, but not sufficient. To be all you can be, what I call, you have to have 9 C's. Please note these carefully. First is capacity. This is the ability to work very hard. You need physical and mental well-being for this. The second is competence. This is the subject knowledge. The third is communication. You have to interact with others. You have to be able to convey. Otherwise, you are like a computer without a monitor. Please develop your communication skills. The fourth is commitment. You have to be wedded to achieving your goal. You cannot just, give up with 1 failure or 2 failures. You have to go for it. Then the next is creativity, which is perhaps one of the most important things which you have. It is the ability to connect dots. It's the ability to do new things, not only jugaad. Jugaad is not creativity. Yes, it is in a sense, but that is not what will change the world. What will change the world is to think of new things. Why do you think YouTube, Facebook, all these things did not develop in India? Are we not creative? Perhaps not. We are the ones who made these, but for somebody else. You try to be creative yourself. Do something for original for India and for you. The next is courage. Courage is not the ability, courage does not mean not having fear. Not having fear is foolhardiness. Courage means assessing the ability to assess the risks and then deal with them. Then there is confidence. You have to say, I can do it. The moment you say, Allah, I can't do it. I have this prey, I have this, I have that, I have so many other interests. You cannot do it then. You have to have confidence in yourself. The eighth one is charm. Charm, you have to get along with others. Okay, there are some individuals like Tesla who never got along with others, but they did amazingly well. If you're one of those, congratulations. But most of us are not. You have to have the ability to get along with people. It needs tact, etc. And the final is calm. Inside you, you must try to develop a core of calm, a peace, a place where you can withdraw in times of stress and assess everything dispassionately. Meditation helps, many other things do too. So these are the 9 qualities. We don't have the time to go through them, but if you are interested in learning more about them, just Google my name and says 9 C's of success, ABCs, 9 C's of success, and you will get the whole article on that. Finally, look inwards. Think of the kind of person you wish to be. Set goals for life. The Gita says, Uddharit Atmana Atmanam na Atmanam avsadiyet Atmev hya Atmano Bandhu Atmev Ripur Atmana. What does it mean? It means raise yourself by yourself. Do not abase yourself. The self is the friend of the self, and the self is the enemy of the self. Just try to be a friend to yourself. That is the greatest contribution you can make to you and to India. So there is so much more I would like to tell you, but today we do not have the time. Some other time, perhaps we'll meet when we have more leeway in this respect, and we can discuss many other things. I will just like to tell you a poem I had written for people like you, young people like you. I call it Adhunik Bharat Ka Gaurav Geet. आधुनिक भारत का गौरव गीत. हर दिल में भारत गूंजे, भारत हमको भाता, भारत हैं हम भारतवासी, हम भारत भाग्य विधाता. उत्तर दक्षिण पूरब पश्चिम तिरंगा है लहराता, गौरव से उन्नत है मस्तक, दिल भारत भारत गाता. प्राण हमारा भारत ही है, ऐसा गहरा नाता, भारत की जय हो, हम भारत के जयदाता. सब मिल एक हुए यहाँ, है ये अद्भुत गाथा, भारत हैं हम भारतवासी, हम भारत भाग्य विधाता, हम भारत भाग्य विधाता. You are the Bharat Bhagya Vidhatas of tomorrow, the arbiters of India's fate. Think about this in every decision you make. What kind of future are you creating? I wish all the best for your future. If you have any questions, please email these to me. Your teachers have my contact address. Also, if any of you or your school wants to organize a Mensa test, get in touch with me. Thank you very much. Goodbye and God bless. Thank you.
We thank Mr. Kishore Asthana sir from the depth of our hearts. It is an immense pleasure to have you with us today. We truly appreciate your gesture of taking time out from your pressing commitments. Your words have motivated all the participants and have vitalized the start of such an important morning for all of us. Thank you indeed, sir. Music has long been one of the prime factors that has evoked feelings of patriotism in each one of us. Patriotic songs have boosted our morale in times of crisis, strengthened our resolve in eras of uncertainty, and rekindled our pride in who we are and what we represent as a great nation. Music can influence human psychology and sociology to facilitate nationalism. The essential building blocks of national identity are undoubtedly cultural ones, and in India, the song Vande Mataram evokes particularly the national ethos in the minds and hearts of the people of India. Vande Mataram was written by Bankim Chandra Chattopadhyay, was adopted as the national song by the Constituent Assembly of India in 1950. To ignite the spark of patriotism, we present before you a beautiful rendition by our school choir.
Thank you, Koyal, for the mesmerizing presentation. I'm sure by this presentation, we all must have rediscovered the aesthetic dimension of the freedom movement. This conference would not have been possible without the dedication and hard work of each and every member of the organizing committee. The team has stayed consistent in their work and has been strong, even when facing seemingly insurmountable hurdles. A special thanks to the teacher coordinators, Ms. Sanchana Shrivastava and Ms. Sanchayata Bhattacharya, along with Monica Chaudhary ma'am, Shilpa Agarwal ma'am, and Amit sir, for their tireless support and much needed guidance required to execute the event.
To begin with, please join me in welcoming the event judges of our 5 exemplary competitions. For the event, Tryst with a Twist, we have Mr. Pranav Goswami and Ms. Mahima Datta. For Every Issue Counts, we have Ms. Ishita Soni and Ms. Vani Gugnani. For Colloquium, Diverse India, we have Mr. Akash Agarwal as the moderator, and the judges are Professor Keerthana Singh and Ms. Riya Nair. For Wings of Change, we have Ms. Akshata Makin and Mr. Ribhav Singh. For We the Youth, arguably the best, we have Mr. Rahul Sharma and Ms. Kriti Malik. Without any further ado, let's commence this much-awaited event, Lotus Discourse 2021. Once again, we thank our esteemed guests, the school management, and enthusiastic participants and audience for gracing this event with their benign presence. We humbly request our guests to remain with us in the meeting and witness the performances in various breakout rooms, as their presence would increment the experience to unparalleled prominence.
Dear participants, you will all be sent into different breakout rooms, with each competition having a separate breakout room. You may use the raise hand feature for communicating during the proceedings. We request you not to leave the conference. Kindly maintain decorum and etiquette during the conference. A slide is being displayed showcasing how the participants are supposed to rename themselves according to the respective events. I thank all of you for your commitment and wish you all the best. You all may join your breakout rooms by clicking on the Join Breakout Room option. On behalf of the entire Lotus Discourse team, we wish you the best of luck and hope that you have a stimulating experience. Thank you all.
We request the participants to enter the breakout rooms and the audience to join back at 3 p.m.